Evening guys, I'm back and back in a new location, as you can see around me. Part of the reason why I dropped off again with the videos is that I've had a bit of a change in the last few months personally. I've left Oxford, which is where I've been for the last 5 years almost, since I started uni, and I'm now back home with the family for well, at least the foreseeable future. I've left my old job. I think I mentioned in some vlogs before that I got a job working as a project manager with a translation company for a little while. I was there for about 4 months. I was only there on a short-term contract anyway, but decided that to end it a little bit early and move home. Basically, I sort of very quickly realised that it wasn't what I wanted to do long term, and what I really want to do is get back into education and academia and get back and do my masters as soon as possible. But to do that, I need a bit more money, and the best way to go about that was to get out of very, very expensive Oxford and move home for a little while. Got myself a job back here, living relatively rent-free, so the plan is now save up a bit of money for the next 12 months probably, and start applying to do my masters in maybe September 2015 sort of time. But that's a little way down the line. That's not really why I turned the camera on today. Yeah, I'm here because I wanted to get back making videos again. Apologies if you're distracted by which way around, the shelves behind me with my DVD collections. I don't know if I've mentioned before in any of my videos, but I'm a bit of a film geek, and there's quite a few DVDs up there, but that's probably only about half, maybe a third of my full collection. But might make a semi-interesting backdrop to the videos, unlike the bare walls that I had back up in Oxford. But yeah, no, the reason I turned on the camera today was because I just wanted to shoot a quick video that I could actually make now that I'm back. A couple of my more popular videos have been my textbook reviews. I did one for the basic dictionary of Japanese grammar, which has got a lot of positive reviews and quite a good number of views. And also I did one for the what's it called? Introduction to Intermediate Japanese, or something along those lines. One of the other textbooks that I used in my uni classes. But now that I'm back home, I've got access to my old bookshelf, which is just out of shot over there. And some of the old, I thought I'd pick up a few of the old books that I used to study Japanese right back when I was starting out, almost 6 years ago now, which is kind of terrifying. That's flown by. Yeah, it was back in 2008, mid-2008, that I actually started learning Japanese. And one of the first books that I ever used, in fact the first book that I did ever use to study Japanese, was this one that I picked up off, I can't remember whether I got it off Amazon, or I think I got it off Amazon. I think, if I recall correctly, I got it off Amazon. Don't think I went into any bookstore and got this. I can't remember why exactly I chose this one. I think maybe someone I knew at college had it, and I'd seen it, and therefore it was really the first thing that I just was ever introduced to. And yeah, it kind of brings back some fond, nostalgic memories. There's a back cover for you, a little bit of a blurb. Just looking at it, yeah, back before I started learning, you know, the writing system, before I started learning any basic grammar, this was the first thing I picked up. And you know, it's 15-minute Japanese. I think most people who are serious about language learning would look at a title like this and immediately be quite skeptical. You know, you're not going to pick up Japanese in 15 minutes. It's sort of, the whole point of this book is it claims that you can sort of take 15 minutes a day. Each lesson in here should take 15 minutes each day, and then at the end of the week you sort of have a little mini test at the end of each module, which are all colour coded, and you know, and solidify what you've learned. And then it should take, how many was it? It's about 12 weeks long in total. This book is supposed to take you, and at the end you've gone over all the basic things, to get around in Japan. I suppose this is probably mostly aimed at tourists, or maybe businessmen and women who might be heading over to Japan, and some people who aren't making Japanese a serious part of their lives, but might need to visit the country and need a bit of might want a little bit of language knowledge to help them out. And yeah, it's for that purpose, it's probably quite good. If you did sit down, if you did know you're going to Japan in a few months down the line, and you did sit down with this 15 minutes a day, you spent a good, say a couple hours with this, 2, 3, 4 hours with this a week, learning each module, actually doing it properly, you'd probably pick up a decent amount of useful basic Japanese. What it doesn't do is it doesn't teach you any grammar. I like the fact that, if we can get in here close, there we go. As you can see, it gives you both the romaji and the hiragana and katakana for vocabulary and things like that. But it doesn't teach you the writing system per se. So I like the fact that it's got both ways, both systems of writing it down. But if you don't know hiragana or katakana or kanji coming into reading this book, then that side of things doesn't really help. And if you do, then the romaji is kind of redundant. But at least it's got both options for whoever's picking it up. But to be honest, if you are learning hiragana, katakana, kanji, and you are serious about your Japanese, you're probably not going to use this book anyway. One thing this book does try to do, which I quite like, just for the whole studying, revising part of it, is it's got these flaps built into the front and the back covers. And what you can do is, as it says at the top here, if I can get that in there, use this flap to cover the left-hand column, and the other flap should say the same thing, but obviously the right-hand column. And the book is designed so that when the flap is over, again, if I can get that right, it's not quite right there because of the way that I'm holding the book to try and angle it. Yeah, that sort of thing. So there you can see should be able to see it says Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and if you remove the flap, then you have the Japanese for it: Getsuyobi, Kaiobi, Suyobi, Mokuyobi. And it's a nice little idea to help you study, revise, cover them up, see if you remember them, uncover, see if you got it right. I mean, there's no reason why you couldn't just do it with your hand, but it just makes it a little easier, and it's a nice little idea. So yeah, you work your way through each week, each module, starting with introductions. Quite simple there. The very first phrase you're going to learn are Ohayou gozaimasu, konban wa, watashi no namae wa desu. So, your good mornings, your good afternoons, my name is. And then you work your way through travel, getting about, shopping, health, at-home services. So it does cover quite a few things beyond the basic getting around stuff. That's a core component of it. And it does sort of go into leisure and eating, and eating sort of comes under it anyway. But it does try. I think it's got pets and socializing and services and things like that. So, and those things probably aren't going to be that much use for the people who actually end up using this as it's intended. But it's nice. It's not bad. It covers a fair amount for a book that's really not trying to be an all-in-one grammar textbook or anything like that. Yeah, it's quite a decent little book, made by Dorling Kindersley. It does a decent job of teaching you some basic phrases and stuff. If you're serious at all about learning Japanese, not really going to be that much help to you. But if you're just going over for a few weeks or going over for a business trip, you could do a lot worse than this. It's got a menu guide in the back, which is a nice idea, sort of telling you how to pronounce different items that you might find on a menu, and giving you the kanji, the kana for them. Yeah, so it's not a bad little book. It's also got a little mini dictionary in the back as well, just with a bunch of phrases. But basically, yeah, it brings back good memories for me, because this is where it all began. I had to, obviously this quickly fell by the wayside when I actually started my classes. I was probably using this sort of just before the summer, before I started learning Japanese. Say probably March and April. I remember often sitting on the train station waiting for the train to college, reading this book, sort of igniting my interest. But of course, it quickly fell by the wayside when I got started actually learning, and I don't have the other textbooks to hand, but I had to quickly graduate onto other books for learning the writing system and the grammar, and once I dig those out from my old boxes and off my bookshelf, I'll do a few video reviews of those soon. So yeah, so for those of you who are interested, if anyone's gone to look at this on Amazon or something and wanted to hear what it was actually like and know about it, it's decent. If your needs are quite simple and you're not looking to learn Japanese full time, it's a handy little book. If you are looking to learn Japanese full time, if you are serious, save the money. I mean, it's only £10 on Amazon, and you get an audio CD with it, which is very useful to sort of rip onto your MP3 player, your iPod, and listen on the train or whatever. But if you are serious, then the money's probably better off invested in books that teach you how to learn kana, put towards a decent textbook or something like that. But yeah, 15-minute Japanese, that's my 2 cents on it. And I promise I'll be back with some more videos soon. Take it easy.